Most of us eat in a rush. We hunch over laptops, scroll on our phones, and shovel food into our mouths while slumped over a modern dining table. But in millions of homes across India, the dining table is ignored. Entire families bypass the furniture to sit directly on the floor. If you grew up with a dining set, you might assume this is an uncomfortable habit, a holdover from a time before chairs were widely available. However, those padded chairs and angled backrests encourage a passive, sluggish posture that disconnects the body from the physical work of eating. Floor dining is a deliberate biomechanical strategy built to keep the body optimized during its most essential daily task. To understand how this works, we have to look at how the cross-legged posture shifts the body's relationship with gravity. Look at this skeletal comparison. On the left, a person in a standard chair naturally collapses into a slouch, compressing the chest and stomach. On the right, sitting cross-legged on the floor forces the pelvis to tilt forward, which naturally stacks the vertebrae into a straight line. Without a backrest to lean against, the body has to do the work. The abdominal and lower back muscles stay engaged for the duration of the meal just to keep the torso upright. There is also a hidden physical cost to this setup. Transitioning the body's entire center of gravity down to the floor and then pulling it back up again to a standing position requires real muscular effort and balance multiple times a day. By removing the chair, the resting act of having a meal becomes an active physical engagement. Holding a pose is only half the equation. The process of getting food from the floor to the mouth requires continuous movement. To reach a plate on the ground, the torso must hinge forward from the hips and then pull back to a vertical position to take a bite. You repeat this movement dozens of times. It creates a rhythmic compression and release inside the abdominal cavity, physically massaging the digestive organs. This repeated pressure sends a signal to the enteric nervous system. As the stomach is physically squeezed and released, the body receives a cue to begin secreting the acids and enzymes needed to break down the incoming food. At a traditional dining table, the plate is elevated and the torso remains static. The digestive organs receive almost no physical stimulation. The floor setup physically primes the body to process food before the first bite even reaches the stomach. These physical demands change the psychology of the meal. The effort required to maintain balance creates a natural resistance to rushing. Because you are actively balancing and hinging to reach your food, it is difficult to distract yourself or eat mindlessly. This forced reduction in speed gives the brain the 20 minutes it needs to register that the stomach is full. It acts as a biological defense against overeating. In Indian culture, these physical benefits, the focus, the slowness, and the grounding, are expressed through the values of humility and respect for the meal. The biomechanics of the posture and the cultural ritual share the same goal, creating a mindful connection to what we eat. Most of us will not throw out our dining tables or eat every lunch on the floor, but we can still apply the principles of this ritual. We can choose an active, upright posture and focus entirely on the food, no matter where we sit. Or you could test the effect yourself. Try ditching the chair for just one meal today. Ditching the chair aligns our modern habits with our biological needs. Are you willing to try it? Comment yes or no below.